Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name's Kirsten, this is where I art and craft, and today we are going to be working on my cover for the Exhibit 2025 journal. This video shows you the different elements that go up to make the cover. Some of them you see me making, some of them you don't. There is one particular thing, which is the waxing of paper, which is quite a big chunk of this video, which is I love, which is why I've given it a big chunk of the paper of the video, because it was a new technique to me that I absolutely adore and I'm going to be using a lot more of. So I thought I would let you see my discoveries as they unfolded. There will be one more video after this when we put everything together, because although I nearly finished the cover in this particular video, everything still needs put together. So on we go. I'm going to start my cover, and to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is, this is a real plastic. It's an actual slide rather than the kit. Now you could say I could use the kit, and indeed I could, but I'm not doing. For two reasons. Firstly, what's we got on here? We've got a little, let me just put something behind that so you can see that. It looks like it's a cow in the road. I don't know if you can see that on there. Well, that's amusing-ish. Well, I forgot what I was saying then. Yes, you could use paper ones. You could use the ones that are in the kit. I want something smaller for the front cover because I'm going to use a couple of them, so I'd need to shrink this down then, because I'm going to do some mixed media stuff on it. I'd also need to probably do about 3 or 4 layers. Shrink it down. If I shrunk it down, printed it on 200 GSM, then I could maybe get away with just 1 layer. I'm just now going to stick this back together, because it won't stay stuck once you've, although there's no glue that holds them together, because they get put together in a machine, they stay stuck, where you just, well, I don't have the power in the hands to keep them staying stuck. So I'm going to then just put that one on there, and that one on there, roughly the same size, so it can stand up. And put a bulldog on that one. That's the way up I want it, and just let that set. I'm just going to put that over. It takes longer. The glue clearly dries at the same rate, but it takes longer for the air to get the glue to set it when it's in a plastic structure. So that really needs to be left a good, even though it's a glue that would normally dry within a minute, it needs to be left a really good 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. That is the structure of my cover. Here are my bits and pieces. These wee bits are just because there's wee sticky bits and I don't want them to stick together. I've tied them all up. It's very hard to get, in this kind of journal, it's very hard to get everything totally square. But I've tidied them all up so they're square enough, and inked them all the pages up. And now what I need to do is, I need to get them back in the right order, because they're in the wrong order. Oh no, they're not. That should be over that way. There we go. Now they're in the right order. Now I need to take some measurements to decide on my cover. And that is 6.5. And that is, let's bring that up so I can actually see. Right, that's 6.5, and this is 6.5 as well. So I want it 6 3/4 by 7. 6 3/4 by 7, and I want 4 of them cut. So I'm going to cut them, and I'm using centimeters because I'm using something small, making something small, I automatically then go into centimeters because I can get a finer detail without having to something going. Right, so that's 8/16 or 32s, you know, 4/32s, you know. I go over to centimeters. So we're going to use this. Is this going to be? This will be okay because of the size of it. And what did I say we wanted? I forgot what I said we wanted now. 6 1/4 and no, 6 3/4 and 7. I have this fabric. This is a Seth Apter fabric. It's one of the Free Spirit ones of his. Fortunately, I don't know exactly which one this is because it isn't on my bit of selvage. But I just thought it kind of went with, although the colours are different in that there's not a lot of this bright green, I just felt it had that feeling of through the microscope about it. See if I put these down here. Do you see what I mean? It's just got that kind of feeling of through the microscope. I'm slightly concerned it is a very bright colour compared to, there's a lot of blue. See, that one's alright because you've got the oranges and stuff, but oh, there's a bit of the tealy almost coming out in there. But this is the fabric I've decided I'm using. This one's a little bit too big, so let's just trim that wee. Maybe we'll trim it off the top edge actually. Okay, this is what I use for sticking on fabric. It's a strong craft glue, PVA, and then I'm just going to add water to that. This is the first one, and I'm going to cut the corners off roughly like that. You don't want to be leaving the thickness of your board, just because I want to, it's a thin fabric. But that's alright. So now what I want to do is I want to just run all the way around the outside like that, making sure I go, when I'm doing that, that is running down and going along that edge there as well, because that will give you a better finish if it's along the edges there. Then you simply start at one edge and fold the corners, the sides in. You need to, this is now set, so I'm going to just do this, which involves putting on, and because this is rough, it doesn't actually need gesso. I was trying to remember what the word was, because I was going to say the texture paste, which is what I'm putting on, which it does need, but it doesn't need keyed with some gesso. I'm just putting a thick, and I don't mind this being kind of messy, that's fine. There we go. So, and then I'm going to get, this is a glass pipette, and with that bit I'm going to put in. Right, and I just now need to leave that. Eddington Kirsten here. For some reason the sound in this bit didn't stay, so well, it's not there. I don't know what happened. Anyway, this is now dry and I'm using acrylic inks to add some colour to it. I'm trying to make the edges of this slide look like it's something, an image that would be under a microscope. That's what I'm doing here. So I dot some of the ink around. I've put slightly too much on in this first instance here, and I just then use the water to let it spread out a bit, dabbing off some of the excess and using a heat tool to dry it occasionally. I don't dry it every time, but using a heat tool to dry it occasionally and just building up layers of colour. This is now dry, and what I want to do is I want to add some distressed paint in Rusty Hinge, crushed olive, forest moss and wild honey. This is how far we've got so far. We've made our covers, that's only one of them, but we've made all four of them. We've made these, I've now made two of them because originally I was going to put a darker one just without, which hadn't had anything done behind it. I don't like that, so I made another one. Although, see, now I'm saying maybe I do like it. No, I don't like it. It looks too plain. I've made some of these, and I'm presuming you know how these are made. If you don't and want to actually see me making some, then I can certainly include them in a future video. But I've made some of these, which are just, you take an element, in this case I wanted a bit of wing, and you put a jump ring. These are 8mm and 10mm jump rings. put a jump ring on top of it, and then you use glossy accents, and you need to leave it overnight really. I've got a bubble in that one, but I'm not that bothered about that. I would be if it wasn't for this journal that's got that kind of, I'm going for that kind of bubbly look on this front cover, like it's the slides and everything, so I'm not concerned about the bubble in that one. I would be if it was for anything else probably, and that's really bad of me because I should have seen it and just popped it with a pin. You want to pop them with a pin when they start, and then you want to go and have a look at them about 2 hours into drying, because quite often, well not quite often, occasionally another bubble is formed about 2 hours into drying. I think it's just, especially with the paper, I think sometimes just air comes out the paper, and you just need to pop it. Although that's not a paper one, that was a, yeah. So the ones that are darker, I'll get the 2 big ones, and that's the best way to show you the 2 big ones. So this is a paperback, and this I've just used the transparencies that I created to create that one. You do get a kind of almost better because it's flat on the back of that, but you don't then get the ring so much. So that's 6.5 dozen. So that's done. That's done. I'm going to use the transparencies when I start assembling the top as well. So we've got them. This is one of the bits I didn't use, and I've cut that off because I'm going to use this on the back of here. I don't want this to be all, I'm going to put it on the back here, but it needs to be trimmed down a bit. I just feel it's too, now this was 6 3/4 by 7, so I think I want it 5 3/4 by 6, so there's a half centimetre, that's centimetres, so there's a half centimetre bit the whole way around. So let's do that now. Yeah, that just allows a bit more of a border. I haven't decided whether I'm putting it straight down like that, you see, and then those two will go over it, or whether I'm going to just kind of put a bit of it on like that maybe. I haven't fully decided yet. These, see, I wanted 2, but now I'm thinking they're quite big having 2 on, aren't they? We'll see what that will see. I wonder if I can break this, because maybe it'd be a case of having this one off the bottom or something, and then maybe I do have that on the whole back. Or do I just put, right, well I need to think about that at another stage. I'm not thinking about that just now. What I am going to do though is with both, put those on there, put that on there, that's there, and I'm going to use one of those probably. What I'm going to do now though is I'm going to deal with these, and this is the first time I've ever done it, but I absolutely love the effect. You need a bit of cardboard, you need your papers, you need some yellow beeswax. I've not even trip tested this yet. All I've done is open the beeswax because I didn't know if in the heat it was going to be stuck together or it was just going to be, you can see how it was vacuum packed. And you put some beeswax, see some of it is kind of stuck together. you put beeswax on the things. Yeah, see, it is stuck together. I think I've probably got too much beeswax there. I'm going to take those 2 clumps off, and then with an iron, I've got a wee travel iron here. Those of you who watch me will know that I usually use hair straighteners for ironing things at the table, but I do also have a wee travel iron that I use for, and you just melt the beeswax. Oh yeah, I didn't need all that at all, did I? Into the paper. Let's just get this out of the way. I'm guessing I've probably got enough on here to do these 2. Oh, these 2 as well. Yeah, that just isn't working on this paper. I wonder what I've got here that's on. Have I got something here? That's ordinary paper, isn't it? That's just ordinary paper. Let's just try this on here. Ah yes, there we go, straight away it's gone translucent. So it's clearly that paper that's stopping it becoming translucent. So I need to go and print it off on just ordinary paper. So I've printed these on best quality. I've had to reprint this page and this page. So I might actually pick a different, I was going to use this one, but I might use this one or this one instead. This one, I think. Although this one is going to, with the borders, not going to be brilliant. Do I want to use this one? Oh, let's just use the one I was going to use. Let's just use this one. Oh, you really don't need a lot at all, do you? That's, see, look at the difference there. See how it's gone translucent as the wax is soaked in. Let's just, oh, that is fabulous. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. I'm sure it's Kipp's Korner. I'll check. And if it isn't Kipp's Korner, I do apologise to whoever I'm not giving the due credit to. I'll have it corrected on in my description box. So obviously the see, because this is now the back side of it. Look. And it just gives this, Debbie does it as pages in our journal, and I'm telling you, I'm up for that. Actually, I was thinking it might be quite nice to have another page in. So I'm now thinking, I wish I'd done the double pages now, so I could have put them in as a page in the journal in here, because that might be quite nice, because you've got quite a, that's okay, and then these, if that had a translucent page there, maybe, no, maybe not, maybe it'd just be too, should have thought of that earlier. But this is definitely, oh Debbie, I love this. This is definitely something I'm going to be doing more of. I'm so tempted just to do this whole page, but I don't know how the cutting does. I know that if you're doing this for your journal pages, Debbie suggests you fold it before you do it, because it can crack. It's just, it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I can still feel, I know what she means about the wax as well. I can still feel there's a kind of bit of wax that's on the top rather than in the paper there. So let's just see if I can get that off. This, maybe I should have been using the other side of this. I'm just thinking this isn't very smooth. I think there's maybe going to be a bit of experimenting. Debbie uses the cardboard, she said, because it was an easier clean up. She could just throw it out rather than having to clean up the glass mat. So you could do it directly on your glass mat if you wanted. But I'm with her with an easier clean up, and we've always got bits of cardboard around. I wish I hadn't done that way though. Right, okay. I don't know whether I can cut this once I've done it, because I do have this thing now about I want to just do this whole page. Why don't I cut out these down the bottom. Let's cut out these down the bottom. Because Debbie also inked hers beforehand. I don't want that one inked, so that's fine. But I would probably want these inked if I was doing it. And from doing that, clearly I don't need that amount. So the wax beads are going to last a long time. Right, now what I wanted to see is, I'm going to use my sticky scissors. That doesn't mean to say they're sticky, it's just the scissors I use for cutting sticky things, because, oh yeah, it cuts just fine actually. So, I'm going to do this whole page, because I think having that might be enough. That might be enough, because I think having the clear ones or the other ones will be lovely as well. I think I've got enough there. Oh, I'm going to end up just not getting on with this cover and playing with this all day. I can see it coming. Right, and you put the iron down, then you just feel it gradually. Oh, see, I think that's what you've got to watch, that you don't move it. Push them off the page like I did then. You want to put them down, press it down, and then move it once they've melted. Not to push them off the page like I did then. And the other thing that Debbie shows you on her video, I will link her video below, is you can leave it blotchy if you want. Oh, I tore that. Never mind, never mind. So clearly, because it's wet, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have it. You could leave it like that, for example, and give, in fact, I'll do that with those two up there and this one down here. I'll leave it, oh, that one actually is all off the page. Now they've got one here. Actually, the leaves might look quite good blotchy. Let's just flip it over and see what the other side's looking like. See, look at that, isn't that fab? Now, if you've got matte photo paper that's thinner, then it might work. That was on 140 GSM, which is I can't remember off the top of my head. I need to put a wee bit of paper on my desk with it, with the weights on it. So if you had maybe 100, that's just fab. Where was the other one? Let me show you the difference. This one feels very similar, but you can see how it's just not, you can see how it's tried to make it translucent, but it's just not worked. You're getting something, it's not just a white background any longer, but you're not getting the full image through. And that also gives you the option of using a kind of slightly different image as well. Well, I am loving it, and I cannot wait now to make a journal using a journal page of this. It's just so fabulous. Right, what I wanted, I'm going to cut that along there. There we go, and that'll be tonight's sitting down watching the telly, cutting out, sorted. Switch off mine and tidy this up and be right back. So I've got all my bits now which are going to make up my cover. Oh, it's interesting because that's now a lot lighter onto there, isn't it? It could have gone the full size. Thinking I probably want to use this one because it's nice and bright. See, I'm now wondering about just putting this on like that, put this one on like that, put that one on the middle. It's just about having a whole pile of bits. We want that actually to be, that slide to be, oh yeah, maybe we do. And that bit. Now, while I love the effect of this, what this has now done with its translucence is stop that. Maybe I need to just try and calm that down with a bit of something else now. Maybe not a whole, maybe just one of these, which is what I'm trying to echo. So if I was to put that down there, no, because that's the inner bit. I want this inner bit that's thinner to go underneath, don't I? Do I make another one then? I don't know if that's making sense to you. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the kind of slide I have. And this bit here is thinner. So if I just had this underneath here, I mean it's all textured up and lifts up as well, then that would be, it wouldn't be up at such an angle. I'm trying to make it look like it's messy, and of course that's trouble. Slides to me don't scream messy. For now, the kit details of the kit is all down below. Debbie at Kipp's Korner, I've linked down below her video for doing the, I've ended up not using a lot of it, I don't know, but using this because it was still a fabulous idea. See, I might still, maybe I'll still put a bit behind there just to tone down that yellow. I might still use those two bits, because they're not going to show through. Does a wee bit, but maybe I'll just put that one there, or that one, this one I think. See, I'm still fiddling. I quite like it having the 8 on it, so maybe I'll put that there. Under there as well. Maybe I'll use one of these other bits on there. Don't think I've used one of the flowers, but maybe use one of the, I'll see. I don't want to use another long bit. Maybe that's the long bit I should use rather than that long bit. Maybe I should use that number 2 instead, or the number 1, because that's the full length of it and darker. Ooh. Right, I'm fiddling again. You'll see what I decide when you come back. Till next time, keep crafting. Bye for now.